The end of 2017 is quickly approaching. So what can we expect from the cattle markets for the rest of the year? Joining us now to talk about the fall outlook is Dwayne Lenz with CattleFax. Well, Dwayne, I don't envy all of you folks in your business because we've had some surprises this year, haven't we?
You have been, and most of them have been good, Kevin.
They have been.
That's the encouraging part.
Tell us about some of those.
Well, I think one of the things that surprised us the most is that feeder cattle and calf prices have hung up there better than expected. They've followed a very seasonal pattern, but at a higher level. Yeah. I think a lot of that speaks to, even though supplies are bigger, we have feedlots and cattle feeders that have been willing to buy break-evens above probably where they should, looking at the futures market, willing to take on more risk, possibly losses, and that's helped these replacement prices.
And we have to talk about consumer demand because that's been a factor as well. What's your sense of how both domestic and international consumer demand have played a role in these markets?
That's a good question, Kevin, because it kind of relates to your last question. That's been one of the pleasant surprises as well in this market. Looking at demand, even though production is up, demand's been good. Internationally, sales are up compared to the last few years, and that's all our own standby customers. It really doesn't take into account any sizable or any volume to China yet. Yeah. We'll probably see that next year. When you look at the domestic market, everyday prices aren't coming down as much as we probably like to see them, but at the same time we're seeing a lot of really low retail ads as compared to the last few years. When you get those good ads, people come in, buy the beef, clear the channels, and sell prices out.
Now, some people are a little on edge as they think about fourth quarter cattle marketings. What's in store for the cattle feeder throughout the end of 2017?
We have a lot of cattle here over the next 30 days to market, especially in the south areas of the Corn Belt. So we're worried about the market in October. We think that the market will have a hard time getting better probably till we get into November, December. So we need to clear supplies in October. If we do that, that'll pave the way for higher prices as we finish out the year.
And as we move into the cornfields for these corn farmers and so forth, what's your outlook on corn crop prices for the rest of the year?
Well, it looks like it's going to be a historically large crop. It won't be the biggest ever, but it could be second or third. Omaha corn's kind of 320. We see the market hanging down there 330, low threes. And that's very neutral for cattle feeding, and feeder cattle and calf prices shouldn't affect us one way or the other very much.
Now, some of the folks that I've talked to have already marketed their feeder calves, cow-calf operations in the summer sales, but for those that are looking to fall to market their calves, what do you say to the cow-calf producer?
Well, October is usually our lowest month. That's just when all the calves are moving. So probably follow that same period this year. We're going to get a little bit of help. There's a lot of moisture in the wheat areas, wheat pasture, winter wheat areas. That should help us a little bit, but kind of the same as the fed market. Look for these lows to occur in the calf market in October, then get better in November and December heading on into next year.
And is it still too early to get a sense of what 2018 might look like for cattle producers?
Well, we can take a look at it, Kevin. What we do know is that supplies are going to be bigger throughout the system. We have a bigger cow herd, and that's just going to trickle on down to all these other prices. So we think everything's going to average lower next year. The highs will be lower. The lows will probably be a little bit lower. So not that the market's going to fall out of bed because of our international demand mainly, but look for a little softer market next year as compared to this year.
Very good. Boy, we always appreciate the insights you and your team at CattleFax provides. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Want to keep up to date on all the latest news in the cattle industry? Just visit NCBA's website at beefusa.org, and for more expert analysis on the cattle markets, be sure to visit CattleFax.com.